Smitty?
He was important with his side.
Oh, okay.
So he saw a chance.
What's up?
Coach Lou, there was a period where two of your players said you was worried about identity, Paul and James. Have you guys found your identity, and what is that?
Yeah, we found it.
And it is what?
Win.
How do you go about winning?
Play hard every position. Physicality defensively, offensively, space. We playing with pace, get into our sets quicker, and the last 7 out of 8 games we shown what we can do.
Did you get that point across to your teammates or your players after you called them soft?
What you think?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Coach, how much do you embrace preparing the game plan to try to slow down the number one scorer in the playoff series?
Say it again?
How much do you embrace the challenge of trying to prepare a game plan to try to slow down Luka in the 7-game series and Kyrie?
It's a tough match, as far as just, I think you gotta just give them different looks to try to keep them off balance. When you're playing against great players, especially great offensive players, you're not necessarily gonna shut them down, but you gotta make them work, you gotta make it hard on them. You gotta make them feel the physicality, you gotta make things tough. And so that's gotta be our mindset going into game one.
Is Kawhi fully practicing today?
No, not fully, but he's gonna be a part of practice.
And Coach, do you notice a difference when Luka's off the floor, a different pace they play with when Kai's at the helm?
Yes.
How much of practice can he do?
He's gonna do a quarter of the practice.
I just mean like running. Is it just shooting?
Just a quarter of the practice. Yeah.
Is it more just because he hasn't played in so long?
Yeah, just bring along slowly.
Like a ramp up?
Yes, sir.
Will that ramp up result in him on the court Sunday?
We'll see.
How about James's foot?
He's good to go.
So how different are they since they made the trade with PJ and Daniel?
They're different. Like they're better defensively, one, and then offensively, Gafford's a dynamic roller. He's great in the dunker. So if Luka's getting mismatched with smaller guards or he's attacking the basket, like we step up, that's a dunk for Gafford. I think he had 2 stretches this year, 32 baskets in a row, and then he had one at 24 baskets in a row. So he does a good job playing around the rim, playing around the dunker, and so we got to make sure we pay a lot of attention to him. And then offensively, PJ's a stretch four who's got some size and can guard different positions, and they've been a lot better.
T-Bone, I got to ask you about Blake. You got to coach him for a year, a very important year of his career, his development, him announcing that he's retiring. Like, what does that mean to you, and what did you
That means I'm old for one. 2, but just for Blake, who's a big part of the turnaround here with the Clippers. Him, CP, and DeAndre. Then you bring in JJ Redick and Jamal. They played a huge part in the turnaround of the Clippers organization. And so when they got to the playoffs, 50-win seasons. And so Blake, just one of the most dynamic players we've seen in this league for a long time as far as athletic-wise. And then one thing he doesn't get credit for is his passing ability. The way he can pass the basketball at the 4 position. And then as he got older, he plays with small ball 5 and improved his 3-point shooting as well. And so he had a great career, and injuries are a big part of it. They kind of slowed him down, down the stretch. But a really good player. And I was, thankful to having the chance to coach him.
When you guys brought so many guys back Sunday, last regular season game at the arena, like, what would it mean to get Blake, now that he says he's done with the league, like to get him back in the fold with this Clippers family and the base that y'all have?
It'd be great. It'd be great.
Ty, earlier Zeus said he doesn't expect you guys to play small as much against Dallas this series as past series. Because of the way that the roster's changed, is that how you see it, or is it game by game?
Game by game.
How have you, maybe when you were a player and both now, adjusted to mentally being able to overcome a guy like Luka to give you 40 bombs, 20 in a quarter, those type of things? How do you mentally overcome that? And how do you get that, direct to your players to, just kind of next play?
Yeah, he's done it all season long. He did it against us in the playoffs, 2 years ago. Like, we understand what he's doing. And so, you know, as long as you're making him work, he's going to make tough shots, whether it's on the 5-man, whether it's on Kawhi, whether it's on PG. Like, that's what he does, you know, so we can't get discouraged. The ones we can give away is the open threes, or, you know, in transition we're not getting back. He's getting, you know, easy baskets that way. But if we're playing good one-on-one defense, our shrinks are there, we're playing the right way, then you got to live with some of his tough shots. And so, go ahead. And then so you just can't get discouraged. Like, you know, that's what great players do. They make tough shots, and so you just can't get discouraged.
And then with Kyrie, like, you obviously coached him closer to early in his career, but when he was prime, but something about him kind of as that 1B behind a LeBron or a Luka. What have you seen about him fitting in there, and what have you seen about how he developed since you've coached him?
I think just, you know, all about winning. I mean, I don't see him as a 1B. I see him as a 1A, you know, as well. And you know, he can score at every level we talked about. You know, he's one of the guys that doesn't have an offensive weakness, and so we got to be prepared for him as well. And they really, you know, come together, became a dynamic duo. You know, I think last year just trying to figure it out, how they were going to play, what style they was going to play, and then this year I think from the beginning having the training camp together, they really figured it out.
Something about how he attacks traps or double teams, stuff like that. Is any of that maybe not concerning, but something you have to pay attention to, because he likes to kind of split a lot of those and try to find other guys, whereas I think Luka just kind of passes out of those.
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie can dribble around it, he can split it, like you said. He can reject the blitz, and so you just got to make sure you're just playing, you know, detailed defense with him. You got to make sure you understand what you're doing, what you're trying to take away. And but he is a shifty guy. It's hard to blitz him a lot of time.
The defense has been up and down at times throughout the season. Where would you put the defense at now?
We're in a good place.
What?
I just defensively, how much of a factor are you looking at Russell Westbrook being, and especially considering how well he played against Dallas in your 2 wins this season?
He's going to be a huge factor. I think his pace offensively is huge for us, being able to push the basketball, get into the paint, make plays, and then defensively being able to guard, you know, 4 different positions, at times 5. And so you can put him on Kyrie, you can put him on Luka, you can put him on Gafford, you know, you can put him on PJ Washington. So his versatility is huge for us.
Do you kind of look at him as kind of like how you had Nicholas 3 years ago?
Yes, sir.
What have you seen that allows you to say the defense is in a good place compared to where it was?
The numbers say it, just the eye test say it, but just our physicality. I think, you know, the teams we played with Denver, with Cleveland, some good teams offensively, that we was able to kind of do a good job in understanding, paying attention to detail, executing the game plan, and we were able to do that. And so just looking at the teams we played over the last 7 or 8 games before these last 3, you know, I thought we really did a good job with that.
Thank you.
Let's get ready for Hoop Jab.